Hello everyone, hopefully you'll have a nice day. So for this session, let us look at graph of kinematics again. Hi, let us apply what we learned in the previous session on this pattern of graph again. First step, what do? We try to arrange the quantity according to this pattern, which is, as I said before, displacement. Next one, velocity. Next one, acceleration. Okay, we must arrange the quantities as following. And then, for example, you are given ST graph in the question, okay, and they ask you to draw the graph for acceleration. Okay, so before that you should remember those patterns here first lah. Then what can you apply? After S is actually velocity, after velocity is actually acceleration. So from here you can draw your graph easily. Okay, this not only can apply on such graph. Okay, for example, we can draw the graph the other way around. What I mean by that? For example, you are given AT graph like this, and they ask you to draw the displacement time graph. So what can you do? Okay, so you should know. Before acceleration, we have velocity. Okay. Before velocity, we have displacement. So you should know the pattern of this. Then it will make your studying life easier. Okay. So let's see what I mean by this. Okay. So let's look at how gradient change for this graph. If the y-axis here displacement. So you see. If I look for a gradient here and here, okay, you akan dapati kecerunan semakin berkurangan dari curam kepada kurang curam. Maksudnya di sini, see, if I find gradient for the graph, gradient for ST graph represent velocity. Okay, so how gradient change in this case, you found that gradient is actually decreasing. Okay, so from here the keyword that you can get here, decreasing velocity. So you draw a graph on VT axis where the value for the velocity is actually decreasing. The value for the graph is actually decreasing. Okay, and how about this? Okay, from here, same thing. Okay, you should know gradient of VT graph actually represent acceleration dalam bahasa percutan. Okay, then if I draw gradient for these two parts here, what is your observation? You found that the gradient are actually what we call the gradient are actually same. Okay, kamu boleh cuba, you boleh buktikan melalui pelukisan graph. Okay, kalau kamu kira gradient ini dengan gradient ini, nilai gradient dia mesti sama. Dalam fizik kita bagi keyword apa, constant ke uniform ke, dia membawa masuk yang sama lah, uniform. Okay, so how you are going to draw uniform acceleration on this graph? Okay, uniform acceleration, if you look at here, means on the graph, you must show value of A always maintain the same value. So that's why we get a horizontal line in this graph. And why this horizontal graph is not here? Because remember, the value of the gradient for the shape like that, you always found that the value for the gradient here should be always with the negative sign, means negative acceleration here. So that's why you have A equals to negative value here. For example, negative 3 meter per second square in this case. Okay, so I think for the graph part, that's it. Okay, we will learn more in the face-to-face class with Madam. Thank you.